Almost every entrepreneur starts out with the exact same dream. It's about freedom, right? The passion to build something you truly love completely on your own terms. But for so many, the reality turns into the complete opposite. Instead of creating freedom, they end up building a prison, and they're the only one with the keys.
Let me tell you about a guy named Styx. He started a small printing business, thinking, finally, I'll be my own boss. Well, pretty soon, he was the business. He was the salesperson, the customer service rep, the guy running the printer, the delivery driver. He was everything. If he got sick or just wanted a day off, the whole thing would just grind to a halt. And that's when it hit him, this horrible realization. He hadn't built a business at all. He just built himself a really demanding job, and it was crushing him. But here's the crazy part. Just 6 months after hitting rock bottom, Styx could walk into his shop, grab a coffee, and just watch it run like a well-oiled machine, completely without him. So how on earth did he pull off that kind of turnaround so fast? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down, because the answer can change everything for you too.
To really get how Styx got out, we first have to understand the trap that he fell into. And trust me, it's a trap that catches thousands of brilliant, talented people who decide, hey, I'm going to start my own thing.
This idea comes from a legendary book called The E-Myth Revisited, and the E stands for entrepreneurial. The myth is this dangerous idea that just because you're an amazing baker, you'll be amazing at running a bakery, or because you're a genius coder, you can build a killer software company. But here's the thing, the skills are worlds apart. Being good at the craft is not, and I mean not, the same as being good at building a business around that craft.
And this is what happens when you fall for that myth. When your entire company depends on you, your skills, your time, your presence, you haven't built an asset that works for you. No, you've built a cage that demands you show up day in and day out just to keep the lights on. It can't grow past you, and it sure as heck can't run without you.
So, what's actually happening inside the head of an owner who's stuck in this trap? Well, the author of the E-Myth, Michael Gerber, says there's basically a three-way battle going on between three very different personalities that every single owner has to wrestle with.
Okay, this breaks it down perfectly. First, you've got the technician. This is the doer. It's the part of you that just loves the hands-on work, whether that's printing, baking, or writing code. Our friend Styx, he was 100% technician, all day, every day. Then you've got the manager, the part that wants order and systems. And finally, there's the entrepreneur, the visionary who's always dreaming about what's next. The trap happens when the technician is running the whole show, leaving zero room for the manager or the entrepreneur to do their jobs.
So how do you escape? How do you break the cycle? It all comes down to one single powerful idea. You have to start building your business as if it's the prototype for 5,000 more just like it. In other words, you have to start thinking like a franchise.
Now, this is absolutely critical. When you have a franchise mindset, the goal isn't to create one single perfect artisanal masterpiece. Nope. The goal is to create something that can be duplicated predictably and consistently, 1,000 times over by 1,000 different people. It forces you to make things simple, to write them down, and to create systems that anyone can follow.
And who understood this better than anyone? Ray Kroc, the guy who turned McDonald's into a global empire. He knew he wasn't really in the hamburger business. He was in the systems business. The system was the real product, and boy, did it work.
And listen, this isn't some dusty, old-school idea. Look at what Jeff Bezos says. The world's most successful entrepreneurs, from the past to the present, all get this one thing. If your company depends entirely on you, you don't really have a company. The systems have to be the foundation, period.
This journey from being trapped to being free, it happens in stages. Most businesses get stuck in what's called infancy. That's where you are the business. Then comes adolescence, which is that messy, chaotic, and kind of painful stage where you finally start building systems and hiring help. It's tough. But the prize, the whole point of it all, is maturity. That's a business that runs like clockwork, completely independent of you. That, right there, is real freedom.
Okay, so that all sounds good in theory, but how do you actually move your business from that chaotic infancy stage to a mature, self-running operation? Well, that's where the Freedom Blueprint comes in. Think of it as 5 concrete steps you can take to build that autonomy you're looking for. All right, here's the game plan. Step 1, systematize everything. How you answer the phone, how you pack an order, everything. If it's not written down, it's just a random habit stuck in your head. Step 2, delegate. But here's the key. You supervise the system, not the person.
Trust your process. Step 3. Build a real team, not just a bunch of helpers. Hire people for specific roles that run the system. Step 4. Automate your money. Invoicing, payroll, all of it. Make it predictable. And finally, Step 5, the ultimate test. Build the whole thing as if you're going to sell it tomorrow. Even if you never plan to, that mindset forces you to make it truly independent.
So now let's bring this all the way back around to Stix, because this isn't just some nice theory in a book. This is exactly, step by step, what he did to completely transform his business and, honestly, his entire life.
See, this is the blueprint in action. He literally took every single task out of his head and put it down on paper, creating what we call standard operating procedures, or SOPs. Then, he hired people not to help him, but to run the system. He started small, with an assistant, then a manager, but he trained them all using that same playbook. He automated the money, delegated the rest, and stepped back.
And the result of all this? The time it took him to go from prisoner to owner? Just 6 months. 6 months of focused work on his business instead of just being buried in his business. That's it.
And that is the ultimate payoff. Imagine walking into your shop and just seeing this machine humming along. Orders are getting filled, customers are happy, money's coming in, and it's all happening without you having to lift a finger. He hadn't just built a successful business. He had finally built his own freedom. So at the end of the day, it really boils down to this choice. Every business owner is standing at this crossroads. On one side, you have a job that you just happen to own. It's totally dependent on you, it's pretty much unsellable, and let's be honest, it's a cage. On the other side, you have a true asset, something that runs without you, something you could sell, and something that gives you true freedom. And that really just leaves one final question for you to think about. When you look at what you're building, what is it? Are you just working hard at a job you happen to own? Or are you taking a step back, being the architect, and actually designing the systems that are going to build your future? The choice is completely yours.